So in today's video, we are going to discuss about the variable attributes that we are using in the PLSQL block. Okay, so let's come with the practical things. Before that, we will go with the definitions. What is the variable attributes? As you can see, variable attributes, it is used in the place of data type in the variable declaration in the PLSQL block. What it means? This is our PLSQL block. Okay, so what it is saying, it is using in the place of data type. So here in the declare section, right? So in declare section, we have some variables, and that variable with that variable, I am using some data types. Okay. So what it is saying, it is used in the place of data type in the variable declaration. So in the variable declaration, it is using at the place of data type. Means instead of that number, we are using some variable attributes. Instead of that varchar2, we are using some variable attributes, right? Instead of this number, we are using some variable attributes. Okay. So this it means in this PLSQL block, you can see here v1, v2, v3 are three variables, and for all the variables, we are defining number varchar. How we have decided that v1 should be number and v2 should be varchar, because we are just considering v1, in v1 which value is going to store student id. So student id will be number of character, it should be a number, right? Id should be number. So that's why this student id is going to store in v1, and student id will be number. So that's why I have given v1 as a number, right? Same name will be in character string values. So that's why v2 I have given as a varchar, which will store the correct number and character both, right? And this is the salary which is stored in the v3. So salary will be a number of values. So that's why v3 I have given as a number data type, right? So according to our column name, okay, I have given here data type with the variables. But suppose here three column I have taken. But suppose if you are working with the real industry, then at that time with the one table, you can get multiple columns, like 50 columns. Suppose, okay. So if suppose all the 50 columns you need to write here, or suppose 20 columns you need to write with the select statement, right? So what you need to write? You need to write 20 20, you can say 20 variables, right? So it is very difficult to identify what is identify and to go and check in the table for all data type for all the columns, right? For all 20 columns, we need to check the data type, and then accordingly we need to assign the data type to the variable. So it is very difficult task. So instead of that, what we can do, okay, by the help of variable attributes, we can reduce uh, this means unnecessary task, right? So how we can reduce? As definition says, we are using at the place of data type instead of this number varchar. Okay, directly we can use the variable attributes. So there are two types of variable attributes. One is the column level and one is the row level. What is the meaning of column level? Column level means whenever we are using the data type depending on the columns, only for the particular columns, right? So at that time it is saying as a column level data types, for example. But before that, just remember, column data type will be written as a percent type, and this will be written as a percent row type. Okay, I will tell you practically how we can write it, right? So instead of this number, what I can put, I can write a student name here. I think I already written, yes. So this was our previous code, right? Number, varchar, and number. So this I have commented. Instead of that, what I can change? Instead of this number, I can write table name, and for which column I am taking this variable, for the student ID. Okay. So this V1 we are assigning to the particular column, one particular column. So at that time, whenever you are defining any data type for the particular column, at that time we need to write with the percent type. Means it will be the column level variable attributes. You can say it's a column level variable attributes. Okay, whenever we are defining variable attributes, okay, for the particular column. At that time, this will be known as a column level variable attributes, and it will be written as a percent type. So how we can write table name, column name, dot column name, percent type. So this V2 assigning, we are assigning for the name, right? So student name, sorry, student call table dot this column name and then percent type. So I don't know what is the might be, it can be a varchar or a number data type. Okay, so manually I was writing number data type, but suppose it should it suppose it is different, so that time it will give error. So to avoid such type of things, okay, and also to avoid, which I have already given example, like 20 columns we have. So instead of assigning each data type to go and check with the column, okay, instead of that, what we can write here directly, we can assign with the column name. So what will happen with this percent type? Actually, what will happen by writing this, whatever the data type will be there, that data type, whether it is character or whether it is varchar or it is character or number, whatever the data type will be there, I don't know what is the data type of the student ID. So what is the whatever the data type will be there, that data type will automatically assign with the paper. Okay, so what is the advantage of that? Okay, advantage will be like there will be very means less, you cannot say less, there will be no any chances of the mistake of the data type, okay, while assigning this value into the v1. How, suppose this is a number, this we have given character v1 character, so number values cannot be stored in the v1, right? This is the student name is a character, and suppose you have written v2 as a number, so this character value cannot store in the v2 data type, which has a number data type, right? v2 variable which has a number data type. So that's why v1 I have given as a student id, table name dot student id percent type. So whatever the data type will be there, that will be automatically assigned to this, right? Same with the v2, whatever the data type will be of the student name, that will be assigned to the v2. V2. Same salary data type will assign with the v3. Okay, so accordingly it will assign, and that value is will store in the v1 v2 v3. So this is a column level of data type. So this is a one type of variable attributes that we are saying is a column level variable attributes, and it will be written as a percent type. Okay, here you can write table dot column and then percent type. Okay, now second one is a row level data. Row level means why we are using row level. Sorry, row level. Let me see. See, now this is working fine. Okay, this code is better than using this variable. Okay, hard coded data types. Instead of hard coded data type, we can directly assign column, right? Column name. So this assignment means this declaration method is better than this, right? But suppose you have 50 columns, or suppose you want to take all the columns of the table, and that table has 50 columns. So for 50 lines, I need to copy here for each 50, right? So our code will be lengthy. Our code will be lengthy, right? So to avoid such type of things, we have one more concept, different type of variable attribute, that is a row level. What we'll do with the row level, instead of this, instead of assigning all the columns here directly, what I will do, I will I will copy all the data types of this column of the table in a single variable. In a single variable means just let me write one select queries. See, this is our select query, right? in which four column it has. 1, 2, 3, 4. All column have different data types, right? Suppose in your project 50 columns you have, 50 or 100 columns, whatever, means more columns you have. So all columns have a different data types, right? So here you need to write all the columns if you wanted to write, right? You need to write all the columns. So to avoid that things, what I will do, I will take one variable and I will assign all the data types of this column, all student name, mobile, salary, and many more. All the data types of this table in a single variable. Okay. So how I can write here, table name, percent, row type, this wording. No need to write any column here, like this. Student name, column name, percent type. Instead of this, instead of this column name percent type, directly I will write row type. So what will happen if I write this student percent row type, means all the data types of all the columns of this table will assign to the V1, right? So advantage of that, we will reduce our code, okay? Instead of writing that all the 50 variables here, right? I will assign all the data types in V1. So how I can write here? See, so there will be some changes with the selector statement. See, previously how it was, student ID it was storing in V1, student name it was storing in V2. Okay, but here I have not taken multiple variables. I have taken only one variable. So here I have also reduced number of variables. Okay, so from the performance point of view, if you are thinking, so we should use a less number of variables because every variable is taking some space or taking some memory. Okay, at the server side, at the DB side. So for the performance point of view, at the project level, we should avoid to use the number of variables. Okay, so that is also one more advantage to use the row level. So here all the data types I have assigned with the V1. Now previously it was one value was assigning to the V1, another column value was assigned to the V2. But here I have not taken V2 and V3. Okay, so how I can write? I can copy this all the data. So there is some ways like this. Till here statement will be same. You can see here till here statement will be same. Instead of that V1, I will write V1 dot column name, this column name. So what will happen in this V1, all the data types is stored, right? All the data type of this column of the table 1 2 3 4 is stored in this V1. So whatever the column name you are putting, its data type it will automatically capture, right? Here given stores data type of student ID also, student name also, data type of mobile also, and data type of salary also, right? So if you are putting like v1 dot column name, so column name is it has four type of data type, right? It can capture four type of data type for all the columns. But if you are putting this column name is means it will only reference to the student ID data type, right? Means it will be the number. Now, so first value it will store in the v1 dot std id. Second student name value will store in the v1 dot std name. So only just you need to write that variable name and that column name. That's it. So here, if you have 50 columns, just you need to write single statement, single declaration in the declare section. If you have a 50 columns also, then only you need to write single v1 dot something, and only here you need to increase the number of columns, and here you need to increase the number of columns. That's it. Okay, and now I will execute this one also. You will get the same one. And almost what is executed. Let's see the DBMS output. The output is same, 100 Kumar 1, right? From here output was also same. See, for both the queries output was same, only difference in the writing of code. So from this is a normal anonymous block, right? Here I avoid these variables. So to avoid these variables, what I have given, I have used column level data types, variable attributes, right? But to avoid this also, I have what I have written, I have used column level data types. This column level variable attributes, right? So as per the definition, what you can say, the definition was saying like it is used in the place of data type. So of course, here we are using in the place of data type, right? Variable name and it should be also variable. So in the place of data type we are using. So in the place of data type in the variable declaration of the PLSQL block. So in the declaration we are giving the declaration part. So as per definition this is working fine, right? So this is all about the variable attributes. So we have two types: column level, row level. Column level, if you want to write, then you need to write column percent row type, column percent type, and for the row level you need to write percent row type. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching my video.